Wait, before we even say hello, let me ask you something. If a stranger met you for just 30 seconds, what would they say about you? Would they say you're funny, shy, a little too honest, maybe a bit stubborn?
Because here's the truth. In English, the way you describe your personality can literally change how people see you. Say the wrong word, and you might sound rude by accident, even if that's not what you meant at all.
Say the right word in the right way, and you sound confident, smart, and genuinely interesting to talk to. That's a huge difference, and most learners never get taught this.
Today, we're giving you the exact words and phrases native English speakers use to describe themselves. The good traits, the it's complicated traits, and even a few traits you should probably never say in a job interview.
By the end of this video, you will be able to describe your own personality in English clearly, confidently, and correctly, whether you're chatting with a friend, meeting someone new, or sitting in an interview.
So stay with us until the end, because we've saved the most powerful personality phrase, the one native speakers use all the time, for the last part of the lesson.
It's a phrase that instantly makes you sound more natural, and almost nobody teaches it, so don't skip ahead.
We've also included a full practice dialogue near the end, so you're not just memorizing isolated words. You'll actually hear two people using this language together, exactly the way real conversations flow.
And trust us, once you finish this lesson, describing your personality will never feel awkward or confusing again. It'll feel automatic.
All right, let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome back to English Easy Lovers channel. I'm Sophie.
And I'm Ryan.
Today's topic is one that literally everyone needs in real life. At interviews, on dates, meeting new friends, in small talk, or just describing yourself to someone new.
Today's topic, talking about your personality in English. And hey, quick thing before we begin. If you're serious about improving your English, hit that subscribe button right now and tap the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson from us.
It's completely free, it takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps our channel grow so we can keep making lessons like this one for you every single week.
Okay, now let's really begin.
Let's be honest, almost every English learner knows basic words like happy, sad, or nice. But the moment someone asks about personality specifically, most people freeze up completely.
Exactly. Someone asks, "So, what do you like?" And suddenly your brain goes blank, even though you know hundreds of English words. It's not a vocabulary problem, it's a preparation problem.
Today, that changes. We'll cover 4 parts.
Part 1. Positive personality adjectives that make you sound confident. Part 2. Tricky or negative personality adjectives and how to say them politely without sounding harsh.
Part 3. Sentence patterns you can use today in real conversations without overthinking the grammar. And Part 4. A full practice dialogue so you can hear everything working together naturally.
By the way, we recommend keeping a notebook nearby. Every time you hear a new word today, pause and write it down with your own example sentence. That's how it actually sticks in your memory.
Great tip! And one more thing before we start. Don't worry about memorizing every single word we teach today. Focus on understanding the patterns, because patterns are reusable in hundreds of different situations.
Exactly. A word is just one word, but a pattern like, "I would describe myself as," can be filled in with dozens of different adjectives in dozens of different conversations for the rest of your life.
That's the real goal today. Not just vocabulary, but a system you can use automatically, without translating in your head first.
All right, now let's really dive into part 1.
Let's start with the good stuff. Words that make you sound confident and likable the moment you use them.
Number 1. Outgoing. This means you enjoy meeting new people, you're social, and you feel comfortable in group situations. Example: I'm quite outgoing. I love meeting new people at parties and striking up conversations with strangers.
Number 2, easygoing. This means you're relaxed, calm, and not easily upset by small problems or changes in plans. Example: my roommate is very easygoing, so we never argue, even when our schedules get messy.
Number 3, reliable. This means people can trust you and depend on you to do what you say you'll do. Example: she's the most reliable person on our team. She always finishes work on time, no matter how busy things get.
Number 4, ambitious. This means you have strong goals and you work hard to achieve them, often thinking long-term about your future. Example: he's very ambitious. He wants to become a manager by next year, and he's already taking extra courses to prepare.
Number 5, considerate. This means you think carefully about other people's feelings before you speak or act. Example: thank you for being so considerate about my schedule. It really means a lot that you asked first.
Number 6, witty. This means you're funny in a clever, quick way, often with smart wordplay or quick responses. Example: Ryan is so witty. He always has a smart comeback ready, even when we're not expecting it.
True story, honestly.
Number 7, down to earth. This means you're humble and realistic, not arrogant, even if you're successful or well-known. Example: even though she's famous, she's very down to earth. She still remembers everyone's name at the office.
Number 8, confident. This simply means believing in your own abilities and judgment without being arrogant about it. Example: you need to walk into that interview feeling confident because employers can sense hesitation immediately.
Number 9, compassionate. This means caring deeply about others' pain or struggles and wanting to help them. Example: the nurse was so compassionate with every patient, always taking a little extra time to comfort them.
And number 10, open-minded. This means being willing to consider new ideas, different cultures, and opinions that differ from your own. Example: good leaders are always open-minded. They listen before they judge, and they're not afraid to change their opinion.
One bonus word here: resourceful. This means you're good at finding quick, clever solutions to problems, even with limited tools. Example: when the printer broke, she was so resourceful. She found a workaround in minutes.
Let's add a few more, because the more options you have, the more natural you'll sound. Number 12, adaptable. This means you adjust easily when things change around you. Example: I'm pretty adaptable. When my flight got canceled, I just found another way to reach the meeting.
Number 13, genuine. This means you're honest and sincere without pretending to be someone you're not. Example: what I love about him is that he's so genuine. What you see is really what you get.
Number 14, patient. This means you stay calm and don't get frustrated, even when things take a long time. Example: teachers really need to be patient, especially with beginners who are still learning the basics.
Number 15, diligent. This means you work carefully and steadily, putting real effort into everything you do. Example: she's incredibly diligent. She double-checks every report before sending it out.
And one more, charismatic. This means you naturally attract people because of your charm and energy. Example: the new teen lead is so charismatic, everyone wants to work on her projects.
That gives us 15 strong positive words already. And honestly, you don't need to memorize all of them today. Just pick 3 or 4 that truly describe you and practice using those first.
Quick pause. Try this right now. Pick one word from this list that describes you and say it out loud in a full sentence. Go ahead, pause the video if you need a moment.
Did you do it? Great! Let's move to part 2, because this is where most learners actually struggle the most.
Now here's something most textbooks don't really teach you: how to describe a negative trait without sounding rude, arrogant, or overly self-critical.
This is huge, especially in interviews, when someone asks that dreaded question, "What's your biggest weakness?" Most learners either panic, say something too honest, or just freeze completely.
And honestly, native speakers struggle with this question too. The trick isn't avoiding honesty, it's presenting honesty in a way that still sounds professional and self-aware. Let's start with stubborn. Someone who doesn't like changing their mind, even when given good reasons to. Example: I can be a bit stubborn sometimes, but I'm working on being more flexible when new information comes in.
Notice how we softened it there? We added a bit, and then we added a solution at the end. That combination is the real trick.
Next, impatient. Someone who doesn't like waiting and prefers things to move quickly. Example: I tend to get impatient when projects move too slowly, so I try to stay busy with smaller tasks in the meantime.
Shy. Feeling nervous or uncomfortable around new people, especially in unfamiliar situations. Example: I was quite shy in school, but I've become much more confident over the years through practice.
Sensitive. Being easily affected emotionally by criticism or difficult situations. Example: I'm a sensitive person, so I try to think carefully before giving feedback, and I also try not to take things too personally.
Overthinker. Someone who thinks too much or too deeply about small things, sometimes causing unnecessary worry. Example: I'm a bit of an overthinker, especially before big decisions, but I've learned to set myself a time limit.
Blunt. Saying exactly what you think, even if it might sound harsh to others. Example: my brother is very blunt. He always tells the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, but people respect his honesty.
And finally, perfectionist. Someone who wants everything to be exactly right, sometimes spending too much time on details. Example: I'm a perfectionist, so I sometimes spend too much time on small details, but I'm learning to prioritize better.
See the pattern forming here? Native speakers rarely say something blunt like, "I'm lazy" or "I'm rude." Instead, they soften the language.
They use phrases like, "I tend to," "I can be a bit," or "I'm working on." This makes the honesty feel constructive instead of negative.
Write that pattern down, seriously. It will save you in interviews, first dates, and everyday conversations for years to come.
One more bonus tip: always follow a weakness with an action. Not just, "I'm impatient," but "I'm impatient and I'm working on being more patient." That small addition changes everything.
Let's add a few more tricky words because these come up more often than you'd think in real conversations.
Introverted. Someone who gains energy from being alone rather than being around large groups of people. Example: I'm a bit introverted, so after a long social event, I usually need some quiet time to recharge.
Indecisive. Someone who finds it hard to make quick decisions. Example: I can be indecisive about small things like choosing a restaurant, but I'm actually very decisive at work.
Talkative. Someone who talks a lot, sometimes more than necessary. Example: I know I can be talkative, especially about topics I'm passionate about, so I try to make sure I'm also listening.
Competitive. Someone who really wants to win or be the best, which can sometimes come across as intense. Example: I'm quite competitive, but I try to channel that into motivating my teammates instead of just myself.
Notice again, every single example ends with something positive or constructive. That's not an accident, that's the whole strategy.
Now, let's build full sentences, because knowing words alone isn't enough. You can know 100 personality adjectives, but if you don't know how to fit them into a sentence naturally, you'll still hesitate when it matters.
These are the top patterns native speakers actually use in daily conversation. And the great thing is, they work with almost any adjective we taught earlier. Just swap the word in. Pattern 1. I would describe myself as. Example. I would describe myself as friendly and hardworking, especially when I'm passionate about a project.
Pattern 2. People say I'm. Example. People say I'm very organized. I guess I just like having a clear plan for everything.
Pattern 3. I tend to be. Example. I tend to be quiet at first, but I open up quickly once I feel comfortable with someone.
Pattern 4. One thing about me is. Example. One thing about me is that I love helping others, even with small, everyday problems.
Pattern 5. I'm the kind of person who. Example. I'm the kind of person who always shows up on time, no matter what.
And here's a bonus, pattern 6. If I had to describe myself in 3 words, I'd say, this one is great for interviews. Example. If I had to describe myself in 3 words, I'd say dependable, curious, and calm under pressure.
Now let's put it all together in a short role play. Ryan, you go first this time. Describe yourself using at least 3 patterns.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I would describe myself as ambitious and easygoing at the same time. People say I'm witty, sometimes a little too witty. I tend to be very focused once I start a project, and I'm the kind of person who finishes what he starts.
Hi, I'm Sophie. One thing about me is that I love learning new things every single day. I would describe myself as outgoing and reliable. If I had to describe myself in 3 words, I'd say curious, calm, and considerate.
See how natural that sounds? No complicated grammar, no advanced vocabulary, just clear, confident sentences built from simple patterns.
That's really the secret. You don't need a huge vocabulary to sound fluent. You need a few strong patterns you can rely on automatically without having to think too hard mid-conversation.
Here's one more bonus pattern, pattern 7. Compared to most people, I'm. This one is great when you want to compare yourself gently to others. Example. Compared to most people, I'm pretty calm in stressful situations. I think it comes from years of working in fast-paced environments.
And pattern 8, which is super useful in casual conversations. I guess you could say I'm. It sounds relaxed and natural, almost like you're thinking out loud. Example. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to my own work, but I'm very relaxed about other people's mistakes.
8 solid patterns now. Try mixing and matching them. Use pattern 1 for your first sentence, then pattern 4 or 5 for the next one, so it doesn't sound repetitive.
That mixing is actually what makes native speakers sound so smooth. They rarely repeat the exact same structure twice in a row.
Let's use everything we've learned in a realistic situation. A job interview, since this is one of the most common places you'll need this exact language.
So tell me a little about your personality.
Sure. I would describe myself as ambitious and reliable. I always meet my deadlines, and people say I'm very easy to work with. If I had to mention a weakness, I'd say I can be a bit of a perfectionist, but I'm learning to balance quality with speed.
That's great to hear. And how do you typically handle teamwork and collaboration?
I'm quite outgoing, so I genuinely enjoy working with others. I'm also considerate. I always try to understand my teammates' point of view before making a final decision.
One more question. How do you handle stressful situations or tight deadlines?
I tend to stay calm under pressure. I can get a little impatient if things move too slowly, but I've learned to channel that energy into staying organized instead of getting frustrated.
That's helpful to know. Last question. How would your previous colleagues describe you?
I think they would say I'm dependable and down to earth. A few of them have also called me competitive, but in a good way. I like pushing the whole team to do better, not just myself.
Excellent. Now let's flip it. Sophie, your turn to answer as the candidate, and I'll ask the questions this time.
So, Sophie, tell me a bit about your personality.
Of course, I would describe myself as compassionate and open-minded. I really enjoy understanding different perspectives before forming an opinion. People often say I'm a great listener.
And what would you say is an area you're working on?
I guess you could say I'm a bit of an overthinker sometimes, especially with big decisions. But I've started setting myself small deadlines, which has really helped me move forward faster.
Fantastic answer. Very natural. Notice how neither of us sounded robotic or memorized, because we were using patterns, not full scripts.
Beautiful answers. Notice the formula in both of ours. Positive traits first, one honest weakness softened politely, and always a solution attached at the end.
That's really the golden formula for interviews, first dates, and even casual introductions. Positive trait, soft weakness, solution.
Now it's your turn. Pause the video and try answering out loud. Tell me about your personality, using at least 3 words or patterns from today's lesson.
Quick bonus before we wrap up. Sometimes you need to describe someone else, not yourself, like a friend, a coworker, or a family member.
The good news is, you already know how. Just change the pronoun. I would describe myself as becomes I would describe her as, or I would describe him as.
Example. I would describe my best friend as incredibly loyal and down to earth. She's always the first person to help when someone's struggling.
Example. My manager tends to be very patient, even when the whole team is under pressure, which really sets the tone for everyone else.
Same words, same patterns, just a different subject. That's one small tip that instantly doubles how useful today's lesson is. Let's quickly recap what we learned today so it really sticks in your memory.
Positive personality words: outgoing, easygoing, reliable, ambitious, considerate, witty, down to earth, confident, compassionate, open-minded, resourceful, adaptable, genuine, patient, diligent, and charismatic.
Softened negative traits: stubborn, impatient, shy, sensitive, overthinker, blunt, perfectionist, introverted, indecisive, talkative, and competitive.
And 8 golden sentence patterns to describe yourself naturally, without sounding memorized or robotic, plus the trick of switching pronouns to describe someone else too.
And remember the golden formula for interviews and conversations. Positive trait plus soft weakness plus solution.
That one small formula alone will make you sound far more confident than most native-level speakers even realize they're using. Practice saying your own personality description in the comments below. We genuinely read every comment and will reply and correct you personally.
That's it for today's lesson on English Easy Lovers.
If this video helped you even a little, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel right now.
Turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next lesson. We upload new videos regularly to help you speak English fluently and confidently, one topic at a time.
Comment below and tell us, in one word, how would you describe your personality? We can't wait to read your answers, and we promise we'll reply to as many as we can.
Also, share this video with a friend who's learning English too. Learning together with someone else always makes the process faster and a lot more fun.
If there's a topic you'd love us to cover next, drop it in the comments as well. We build our lessons based on what you actually need.
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Bye-bye!